Hello everyone, Classical Geek here, welcome back to a brand new video, and today I'm doing another Doctor Who episode review. This time it's on the fan favourite, critically acclaimed masterpiece that is Love and Monsters. Yeah, Love and Monsters is a story that I can only describe as divisive. Some people utterly detest it, and it appears in lists of the worst episodes ever in Doctor Who. But it's also got a bit of a cult following, especially in recent years, so I want to take a look at this story, and considering they're doing a watch-along of it, I thought it was quite fitting, and because it's Valentine's Day, love and monsters, get it, eh? Let's get into the review. So the story starts off with our main character, Elton, getting trapped in the middle of another one of the Doctor's adventures with Rose and this monster called the Hoiks, I think it's called, I don't know. And this opening it's ridiculous. It's borderline Scooby-Doo with them running up and down different corridors, they're getting chased, have to turn around different directions. It's borderline Scooby-Doo, and it's just ridiculous. Like it's a bit too far, like in terms of the comedy. And what I find even more bizarre is the way that they cut back to Elton blogging the event when he's saying stuff like, I put this at the start because I thought it was a good opening. Like, stuff like that, it's a bit too on the nose. Like, it's obviously trying to be all meta, but lines like that is just a bit too on the nose. Although I do like the whole device of him recording it, like the narrative device of him recording it and directly addressing the audience. I like that. But yeah, this whole goofy tone is one of the big problems I have with the Ross D. Davies era of Doctor Who. Sometimes the comedy and the goofiness, it's a bit too far. And yeah, you've got examples like the fart jokes in the Slovene part that can be a bit too over the top, or the Master dancing aboard that airship in the Series 3 finale. Like, they can be a bit too much at times, and Love and Monsters is the epitome of that. But this story doesn't feature the Doctor or Rose an awful lot. They only appear quite briefly, like in the beginning and at the end. It mainly focuses on this one-off character, Elton, who's just this normal bloke whose life has been affected by the Doctor since he was very young. Now, this is something I really like about the story, because he's not a companion. He only met the Doctor once. It was like a brief encounter, but it's changed his life. He's hell-bent on trying to find out why he was there, why he met the Doctor when he was so young, what was he doing in his house. Like, it's so interesting, and I do like the character of Elton. He's very interesting. You get to know him throughout the course of the story, and he's just quite likeable. And I do like Elton as a character. And also like the other side characters, the Thelinda Group. You got Ursula, who's sort of Elton's love interest, and you got the other characters, Mr. Skinner, Bridget, Bliss. I can remember all their names. They're very likeable characters, and I just love the idea of this group of people coming together on a common interest of, they've encountered the Doctor before, they want to try and find out who he is. And then over time, they start to know each other, they get to know a bit about each other, and they have developed hobbies like baking, writing, music, and I love that idea. And it also reflects sort of Doctor Who fans, and the way I said it was quite meta at the start, I think this aspect of it works really well, because Doctor Who fans, we often meet with a common interest of we love Doctor Who, but then as we know each other, we learn more about each other, and we become friends. A lot of people do become friends because of Doctor Who, and it's a nice love letter to the fans, I think. And then when you get a character like Victor Kennedy, Peter Kay's character, who sort of makes it more strict, he's literally just bossing them about. It's sort of, they don't have that sort of, that sort of friendship is just kind of lost, isn't it? And that kind of represents the Doctor Who fandom. You've got all these people who love it, and then there's that one person who has to spoil everyone's fun. Another aspect of the story I like is Jacky. Now, obviously, around the middle of the story, Elton is told by Victor Kennedy to sort of try and befriend Jacky to find out who Rose is and, where the Doctor is. And yeah, I like Jacky's inclusion in this, because before this, I always used to find her really annoying and irritating. But this story, you do feel quite sympathetic for her, because when Rose isn't there, she feels quite lonely, and it's quite sad, like the people who get left behind. I mean, this was kind of explored with Mickey in Series 1, and we get it with Jacky in Series 2, and it is quite sweet. Now look, these scenes aren't perfect. Like, if you took a shot for how many sexual innuendos there are between Jacky and Elton, you'd be stone dead by about minute 30 in the episode. But other than that, which is a bit naff, I like the intention of trying to show what it's like, for the people who get left behind. I like that. Now, if you're gonna talk about Love and Monsters, you have to talk about Peter Kay as the Absorption Off. I mean, this is just... It's just ridiculous. It just is. It's absolutely ridiculous. Like, Peter Kay as a big green rubber monster, and he absorbs people, and their face, you can see their faces on his body. It's just ludicrous. And when he's running around chasing Elton, and he's saying daft stuff like, tastes like chicken, or you've dabbled with aliens, no meat, the genuine article. Sorry for my terrible Walton accent, but you can't take him seriously one bit. Now, I can kind of forgive it because it was designed by a kid in a Blue Peter competition, and it is kind of sweet knowing that, like in 2006, Doctor Who was this big juggernaut where, it's kind of sweet, but the actual monster is daft, and it's not the worst Doctor Who monster, but it is close. So then the end of the story is the Doctor saves the day, he arrives, the Absorption Off gets defeated, and all the people absorbed by him, they just get absorbed into the earth. But the Doctor managed to save Ursula, as I said, Elton's love interest, and turns her into a paving slab, and we get this, at the end, really uncomfortable joke implying something very, very not safe for work, with Elton's line of, even got a bit of a love life, and then he moves the camera away, the pavement slab's looking at it. It's just cringeworthy at best, and downright nasty at worst. But the episode does end on a nice note. It ends with a nice monologue from Elton. He's saying, like, when you're young, your parents tell you it's go to school, get a job, get married, have a kid, and that's it. But the world is so much madder and so much better. It's a really nice little monologue, and it does leave it on a high note. So overall, I'd give Love and Monsters a 6 out of 10. It's a story which had definitely good intentions, and I can really appreciate its message of, people coming together. And it's a nice message, but in execution, it's got problems here, there and everywhere. But, it's a nice story. But yeah, that's the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed. Be sure to like, subscribe, comment, click the notification bell so you don't miss a thing. And this is Clack of the Geek signing out. Goodbye everyone, and happy Valentine's Day.